The nation's largest retailer today responded to growing consumer outrage over millions of dangerous toys imported from communist China. Just in time for the Christmas shopping season, Walmart unleashed a public relations offensive to convince skeptical and angry shoppers that its products are not only cheap, but also safe. Christine Romans reports.
Walmart has no time to lose. There are only 123 shopping days until Christmas. Orders have been placed. Ships are already filled with the products destined for America's toy boxes. So Walmart promises more testing, more checking, more dialogue, and more selection of toys from across the world. 80% of toys in this country are now made in one country, China. In a statement, the company's merchandise manager for toys says, "We've heard parents' concerns over recent recalls, and we're working hard to be their advocate, ensuring everyone involved in the toy business plays their part in improving standards." Walmart's critics scoff at that. They say Walmart's relentless and legendary drive to squeeze lower prices out of its suppliers is a big part of the problem.
You can't tell somebody to produce something at bargain basement prices and then not take responsible steps to ensure that the product is safe for the consumer. And Walmart has avoided that.
As costs are squeezed out of the process,
to continue to do it at a cheaper and cheaper price, you cut corners. And as you cut corners, you might, let's eliminate a little testing here. Let's eliminate a little bit of quality control there.
Indeed, don't just blame China.
I think the problem goes deeper than that. We've got problems with import inspections here at our own borders, but there's also problems with quality control systems in the manufacturing.
Meanwhile, Walmart also says it, quote, stands ready to help leaders in China with any new testing or standards. But since Walmart already imports more from China than most countries, its critics wonder what's taken so long. Walmart is asking its suppliers to resubmit all of the safety documentation for toys already on the shelves and the toys being shipped right now. It is hiring its own testers, independent testers, to do an additional 200 tests on toys for safety each day.
But Christine, that seems like a drop in the bucket when anyone who's been to a Walmart, especially during the Christmas season, certainly they're not testing even a fraction of all the toys that they have.
I'm not sure how much of the toys they will be testing. The branded manufacturers are already doing some of their own testing, but as we've seen, the branded manufacturers, the big name toy brands, are having recall problems. Walmart's going to do some extra testing with independent contractors, going to test them 200 extra a day, but 200 products a day. There are 3 billion toys on the shelves. There are a lot of toys out there.
Meanwhile, there are also a lot of very worried and anxious parents at the same time.
Right.
Christine Romans, thanks for that great report. Critics say the Consumer Product Safety Commission is not up to the task of keeping our families safe by keeping dangerous toy imports from communist China out of the United States. Earlier today, I spoke with 2 consumer product experts about what needs to be done to keep dangerous toys and other products from coming into this country.
Congress needs to allocate more money and more enforcement power to the CPSC in general, and then particularly at the border. We need independent third-party investigations and laboratory testing of all imports. Consumer groups, including Consumer Reports and U.S. PIRG, have called for a list of reforms that need to be done. The government has to play a role. When Congress gets back, we're confident that the Consumer Product Safety Commission and the safety of imports will be high on its list.
Vashi, I want to pick up with you. The Consumer Reports, your group's safety blog, has some tips for what parents can do, because really that's what is at the heart of this. Parents want to know, what can I do to protect my children? What sort of advice do you give to parents?
Well, at this point, parents need to take stock of what they've got in their children's toy chest already. You also want to cross-reference that with some kind of recall site. Recalls.gov is a good place to start. You can also sign yourself up on a website and get emails sent to you when there are recalls of specific toys. You want to make sure that the toys that you have in your chest don't have peeling or chipping paint off of them. You want to make sure that all of those types of toys are out of reach, especially for children under the age of 2 who often put these things into their mouths directly.
We'll have more on how you can protect yourself and your family from dangerous imports and what the government should do to keep dangerous products from being imported on Lou Dobbs this week, this Saturday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And that brings us to the subject of tonight's poll. Should the federal government suspend all imports from China until manufacturers prove they are safe? Yes or no? Cast your vote at loudobbs.com. We'll bring you the results a little later in the broadcast.